Welcome to episode 5 of the debate show. I'm Gav Max alongside Alex Osborne. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, Monfrey. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Two up top. In behind is Dylan Murphy from Two Up Top.
And one of the newest additions to the team as well.
Yeah. Well, how are you, Dylan?
What's happening? How are we?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. And up front, alongside us, is Two Up Top fan and Liverpool extraordinaire, Jamie Watson. How are you, Jamie?
Good evening, chaps. How are we?
Oh, welcome to the show, mate. Welcome to the show.
It's nice to be on. Nice to be on.
There you go. It's so frustrating though having two Scousers on the show on the same day when us Gooners have got to play.
Well, it's almost as if we've done this on purpose, and I can assure you, I don't think it has been done on purpose.
No, it's genuine accident. Genuine accident. Someone who's tuned in at 7 o'clock said that we are late. And goodbye.
So cheers, Vince.
Yeah, cheers, Vince. 23. That's all right. Right. So well, we might as well end the show. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
In the meantime, you subscribe to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/2uptopfootball. You can do @2uptopfootball on all social media. And did you know you put Two Up Top into Google?
What happens?
Our name comes up first. Yes, it does. And download Soccer Manager 2021. It's available on the App Store and on Google Play. And without further ado, it's the debate show. So let's get to question 1. Should the League Cup be scrapped?
Ooh.
Dylan, I'll come to you first, mate.
Yeah.
No, I don't see why. Why should it be scrapped?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. Should it be scrapped? Should it not be?
I don't see any reason why it should be scrapped. I think it's another title for the lower league teams to win. You know, these teams like Everton who've never won a trophy, and you know we're talking about scrapping this. So I don't think it's just scrapping.
Well, you say never. It's for the lower league teams. Man City. It's Man City's trophy at the moment. They just keep winning it. So, which is not a problem. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
They have to build their trophy cabinet up, though, boys, because you know
they've got a lot of history to catch up on, ain't they?
Yeah, they got a lot of building to be doing, and you know.
I don't think they've got any history pre-2008, have they?
When you look at your trophy cabinet and it's full league cup trophies, you know, it just shows you how good they were back. You know, you look 20 years ago. You look in 20 years. You look back and now look how many league cups they won. You look how big of a side they are. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Jamie?
There's I suppose there's two ways of thinking about it. You know, the lower league teams will say it's a good income stream, it's a good source of revenue for us, but you know, they don't take it as seriously as they like to think they do anyway. Because you look at the lower league teams when they play the big teams rotate, but the lower league teams do as well. So they don't even take it seriously at times. I don't think it should be scrapped though. I think it's good for young players to get games, regardless of what level they're at. You know, if people want to rotate in it, then that is their prerogative, I suppose. But yeah, I think it should be kept around because it does. You know, a lot of players make the breakthroughs in League Cup games. You look at Phil Foden, you look at Curtis Jones,
Julio Baptista.
You know, they make the breakthroughs. Wenger was great in it for years. Wenger used it as a tool for years to get good players. You know, I don't know the stats, but I bet Cesc Fabregas probably made his debut in a.
He did, and actually,
you were at that game,
Jamie. It's funny you mention that because I was actually at that game live, and I remember watching that, and I'm thinking, oh boy, this guy's going to be good, and he turned out to be.
How wrong did you get that?
Well, he turned out to be legendary.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of the League Cup?
Well, actually, I want to kind of piggyback off Jamie's point there, but I want to go the other way and say I think it should be scrapped, and I have thought about it. I've thought this for a few years, mainly because if you look at all the other leagues around Europe, right, they only have one cup competition.
No, they
so
do,
why?
Yeah.
So why do
There's only France and Europe that have.
Why they've got rid of those now.
Well, yeah, that was the last season, wasn't it? Last season was the last one.
So why we have to be so special and have to have two? And you also think about you mentioned about the lower league sides. Not only is it League One and League Two, they've got is it Johnston Paint or whatever it's called now?
Yeah, the Football League trophy. It has a different sponsor every frigging year, doesn't it? The Check Trade trophy.
And that's where you're talking about young players coming through. You've got the under 23s, don't they? They go into the top under 23s in the Prem. They go into that cup competition, don't they? Because we will remember we went to that game. Was it last year? The Arsenal against Cobblers.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
So I personally think the League Cup should be scrapped, and I also think that the FA Cup should be moved to midweek as well. I just think it's because the league is such a dominant force now, and as is the Champions League in Europe, that to give the English sides the best chance to do well in it, I think that the League Cup should be scrapped. Personally, to reduce.
I'm intrigued to see what everyone thinks who's watching the show at the moment. This is an interactive show, so if you've got any comments or questions or queries, feel free to throw your comments in. And we've got one here from Mitch Noble, who's watching the show. Mitch Noble from the Armchair Pundits. So, hi, Mitch. How's it going? The League Cup is away into Europe now. The Europa Conference League thing that they're about to introduce, aren't they? It's like the third tier of it. So the Championship bottom half teams should be taking it more seriously. Definitely agree with that. Now, the issue is, if you are going to win the League Cup and go into the Euro Conference thing, now I can't see how much importance the conference is going to have. If you win the European Conference, if you want to call it that,
you go into the Europa League, I believe.
Apparently so. Where's the incentive?
And then obviously you go from the Europa League. Well, the incentive is if you get into the Europa League, you then have the chance of, if you win that, then getting into the Champions League.
But there's not a lot of money in the Europa League at the moment.
But if as Mitch has pointed out there, a Championship side gets into Europa League somehow, right? Think of that money would be life-changing for them.
But there's more money getting promoted.
There's more, yeah, exactly. There's much more money getting promoted, and not
absolutely.
just that. Like, we're talking, if you win a group game in the Champions League, it used to be $500,000. I don't know what it's like now. I think it might be about a couple of million. I think it's 1.1 now. Honestly, I think it is. If you win a group stage game in the Europa League, it's 30,000. 30,000. That's not good. So then, what's it going to be like in the conference?
I don't know.
It's going to be like a Freddo and
but your team's reputation does get improved when you are in Europe. Your reputation will be enhanced by being in a European competition.
With that, then let's bring back the Anglo-Italia Cup.
Well, they're bringing this Euro Conference is basically the Cup Winners' Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Remember?
No, it's not.
Yes, but
the Cup Winners' Cup had high regard. Yes, it did.
Well, why did they get rid of it then? When Chelsea? Chelsea won the last one, didn't they? Chelsea won more money.
There was more money going into the Premier League, into the Champions League, because end of the day, you got to think of it like this: back then, you would get the league winner go through to the European Cup / Champions League. The league winner. That's what it was. Then in the Europa League, UEFA Cup. It was UEFA Cup. You play home and away. Round one, all the way through. Even the final was over 2 legs back in the day. And they were for the teams that come like second, third, fourth, And then the cup was held in high regard, because if you win, every team in everywhere around Europe and the world will put so much effort into winning their domestic cup competition, because it's a trophy. Whereas now you're getting the top 4 go into the Champions League. Where's the incentive to go and win the cup?
Well, depending obviously what league you're in as well, because not every league across Europe, the top 4 goes into the Champions League.
The top 4 leagues in Europe do.
Going back to this point, right, about the League Cup being scrapped, I think the other benefit of the League Cup being scrapped is that it would actually make the FA Cup be a bit more prestigious, because there's one less trophy to win for bigger sides or for clubs in general. So I grew up as a kid. I don't know about you guys there, Jamie and Dylan, but the FA Cup being one of the more special tournaments in the world, especially when football wasn't shown on TV as much, and you always got the luxury of watching the FA Cup final live on BBC or ITV or whichever channel it was on, and it was a big deal. And I feel obviously that's kind of been left. That's kind of luster's kind of gone down a little bit. But if the League Cup was to be scrapped, I think that would certainly make the FA Cup a bit more appealing.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, like you remember great FA Cup finals. You never really remember great League Cup finals.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Think of one.
Especially because especially the FA Cup's always like the show. It always seems to be. It was always regarded as a showpiece because it came at the end of the season. The League Cup was always what 2/3 away through, wasn't it? 3/4 of the way through.
It used to be the last Sunday of March, and then it moved to the last Sunday of Feb, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think League Cup for me. So Jamie, you're saying it's staying.
Yeah, I think it should.
And Jamie was like, it's because obviously it's a good way for youngsters to get bled through. And I completely agree that is a good way to get bled through. I just feel like there could be better ways for that to happen.
So you're saying it's scrapped. It should be scrapped. Dill, which way you going?
Do you know? Because I'm sure, I know we want to about to move on, but I'm sure there is a thing where the under 23s now play in with the league. What I'm pretty sure they play in the
They're playing Football League Trophy.
Yeah. So if that is the argument, now I'm thinking about it more. I do think it could get scrapped in the FA Cup, because I would rather see the FA Cup become. Now you've said it, honestly. Like, now you say that, I do think it would revitalise the FA Cup a bit more, because it's a bit more. Yeah, I'm saying scrap.
Well, I think. Go on, Jay.
I think I could see. So there's however many games you're losing that the television companies can't show. I think if they did scrap the League Cup, all you'd see is, I don't know, something mad like an FA Cup group stage, just something ridiculous. They'd have to fill that void. They'd have to fill that. Fill that void somewhere.
Cannibals now started their own streaming platform where you pay £10 into that. So like
maybe that's a potential. I mean, Jamie, in response to that, maybe if they did scrap the League Cup to try and help the national side, you could get in then a midwinter break, like you do with other countries.
I don't want to see a midwinter break. That's going to be a different debate for a different day.
Might be controversial.
Prem 2, show the kids. You know, if you want to see the kids playing, show Prem 2, show what's going on.
That's another debate for another day as well. Let's move on to the next subject. Before I move on, make sure you download Soccer Manager 2021. It's available on the App Store and on Google Play. And did you know, if you put top into Google, our name comes up first. Right then, are match officials being made to be scapegoats? I'll say this because last on the debate show episode 4, we spoke in depth about handball and the handball law around it. And there's been a number of situations that have happened since the debate show 4. And I am now thinking that referees are starting to be made scapegoats. How do you think about that, Alex?
Haven't they always been made scapegoats for a long time? You know, you hear managers post-match interviews, and Jose is a classic example. He will do, if I speak, I'm in trouble. Would I just prefer just giving my money straight to charity? Okay, he's not directly saying the referees are at fault there, but that is what he's implying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they are being made scapegoats, and they always have been made scapegoats. It's because it's an easy target. It's something like, because taking a loss is hard as human beings. Taking a loss is hard to take, right? And it's there for like a defense mechanism to then blame somebody or something for that loss. And
it's very blame culture, that we live in right now. Anyway, the thing is, for me, I feel that referees are there to apply the laws of the game. The laws of the game are made by IFAB. We can't. I'll say we, as a former referee, I don't have any impact on what the laws state or what they do. All I can do is give my interpretation of what the laws of the game tell me. Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think referees are completely scapegoated by managers, by pundits, everyone really that wants to stick the boot in about the rules. They tend to say, why has he made that decision? Can't he play a bit of common sense? Referees aren't employed to use, to an extent, they're not employed to use common sense. They're there to apply the rules. And if the rules say one thing and he blows his whistle and says, I'm giving that decision, it's because there's a rule there that tells him he has to. There's no rule that says, it's a foul if it hits his arm just below the shirt line, but use your common sense, lads. It doesn't say that in the rule book. It says if it hits him below the shirt line,
there's nothing in the laws of the game that state that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Dylan?
there's a lot of sports. Oh, sorry.
No, yeah,
Go on,
No,
Jamie.
no, Dylan,
Go on, Jamie. Sorry,
Yeah.
what were you going to say?
There's a lot of sports where, rules are black and white, and it takes people a while to get used to that. And football's one of them sports where rules aren't black and white. They are so open to interpretation, and officials are a very easy target for it. And it's just unfortunate. And you see it filters down to the bottom of the game as well. Respect becomes an issue then, and we go to that. So,
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Esther, who's watching the show, she says they're just doing their job. Thanks for watching, by the way, Esther.
Dylan.
They're just doing their job. They don't make the rules; they just enforce them.
Which is basically what Jamie was saying there, which is totally right. What were you going to say there, Dylan?
No, yeah. So the are scapegoats, because even down to the Sunday league games, players get the referees back. They'll blame the referee when the referee's only doing his job. The referees can't get everything right as well. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking there about it's not everything's black and white. They've got grey areas. I was watching I don't know if any of you have seen Andy Gray's what Andy Gray said about all the handballs. Him and De Jong.
We've got legal streams to watch the games, so therefore we don't we don't see what Andy Gray or Richard Keys says nowadays. But carry on, Dylan. That's fine.
No, but him and De Jong had like a good little talk, and he was saying back in their day, the game, it wasn't black and white. There was grey areas and stuff like that, and now the game's like the referees can't get it. It's like they can't get anything wrong now, because the VAR. It's just like everything gets put on them. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The thing is that VAR should make it easier for referees, but the issue is with VAR means making their choices, making things ridiculous, and it really is. So I've read that really wrong, by the way, but I understand what you're trying to say. Basically, I'm trying to understand what I think I'm saying. But yeah, VAR is there to, as far as I'm concerned, to iron out these issues, and I am not a fan of VAR. I am completely 100% against VAR. I saw it in the World Cup 2018, and I thought, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I'll give it a chance. And it's wrong, and it's not just in the Premier League; it's across the world.
Well, I think that VAR is going to be here to stay, because if they did remove it, it would be an admission of, we've actually made a mistake here. The only really technology that I feel that they should use in football is goal line technology. We're talking about black and white. It's either a goal or it's not, right?
Yeah.
That is what.
Wow,
that's the only one. Really,
Yeah. Well, okay.
Wow.
Yes. Right. Okay. Aside of that freak moment where it didn't actually work,
of course,
and I feel like that is exceptional circumstances. The only black and white in a football game is if it's a goal or if it's not. So when you've got VAR to apply rules, and as Jamie said, somebody could interpret it one way, and then the VAR officials interpret it another, and then they say go to the pitch side monitor and have a look at the decision you've made, and the referee's gone. He's had a second look at it, and he's still and ahhing, or he goes, "Oh no, I've made a mistake," and he's gone back a bit. Then it makes it a little bit of farcical, because you're like, well, why have you made that decision in the first place? And I appreciate the game of football is played at such a speed, isn't it?
Depending on what league you look at, but I agree with what you're saying. If you look at
you've refereed at Sunday League level, UCL level, and that. It's a completely
level and National League North and South. So I've done
it's a completely different speed, isn't it?
The whole grassroots level up until before you get to professional level. I've seen it.
It's a completely different speed, isn't it?
And the speeds do change. The ability also changes. The issue is, when I used to go out on the green bit, I would just be doing what I can to abide by the laws of the game. Now, you've got a thing called match control. There's a thing called match control. You get marked on it as a referee on your assessments. The three things that carry the most weight. Now, I can't remember what the third one is now, actually, thinking about it. But application of law. So it's applying the law. The other one is match control. and there's something else. Now, if there's any referees that are watching the game or watching the show, feel free to throw the third one in, because I really can't remember what the third high weight mode
It's not
was.
positioning, is it?
No, position was quite low down. It didn't carry much weight. Because then the things that don't carry much weight then add to the things that do carry weight. But match control is really important. Now you've got Team Red versus Team Blue, and you give a free kick and a yellow card to Team Red on 30 minutes. And it's a definite yellow card, you know it. That's fine. But then 3 minutes later, for argument's sake, Team Blue make a foul. No, they foul them. It's not so bad, but it's definitely a foul. Given a yellow card in that situation aids your match control. So therefore, what you're doing there is helping yourself almost. You are aiding your own match control. Therefore, you are
That's why I don't
making your life easier out on the pitch. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying that tackle was worth a yellow card, but because he's given a yellow card that way, it's easy to give a yellow card that way. So therefore, it makes your life easier. You've got another hour left of the game, and off you go. So, but you haven't contravened the laws of the game by doing it. What you've done is just sorted yourself out and boosted your team rating. Try and get promoted quicker.
So I mean, I don't know about you guys, Jamie and Dylan. I don't know if this is something new to you, but to me, that's saying that should this not be explained to players, explained to the fans?
It is. It is explained to players.
I've not. Well, okay, explain to fans, like certainly at the Premier League level or professional level, because
they don't need it explained because they're professional.
But I think basically what I'm trying to say here, before you keep jumping in, is I still think that referees should be. I don't think that they should be not allowed to interview. I think they should be allowed to at least explain some of their reasons for the decisions. Because at the end of the day, even if we don't agree with them, if you're held accountable and you own up to what you've made, then as a human being, you can accept that, even if your team has lost, right? Surely.
Hell no. What do you boys think?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I think referees should be interviewed and things like that and have a chance to have their say. But I don't know if I'd want to see that, say, on Sky, because I think, in general, on TV, because I think a lot of interviewers ask very leading questions and try and tie.
Yes, no, I get that. Do you not think it's a little bit naughty from TV stations like BT Sport, where they've got a former referee now on there analysing a referee's decisions, and that referee gives them their opinion, and then it then contravenes with the referee on the pitch? Do you not think that will rile up fan? Because
it's very rare that happens. It's very rare that happens.
Yeah, the referee in the studio does normally go with it. Yeah, they actually give the referee's point of view, and that's why I love Sam Matterface, who is like one of my media darlings. Almost did a swear. I really have a lot of time for Sam Matterface, and he will always speak of law. And I want to know. I actually want to find out whether Sam Matterface has done a referee's course or whether he's gone out there and refereed before. Because a lot of people that will have an opinion on these sort of things have never even picked up the laws of the game. If I turned around to him and said, "What's law 11?" they wouldn't know.
Offside.
It is offside. It is offside. Well done, mate. I'll tell you what. I'm going to send a goal sticker up to Liverpool for you. But a lot of people don't know the laws of the game, and I've said this loads of times on various shows that we do. So go back on YouTube and find out what shows we do. We've got many a playlist. I have said on many occasions, if you don't. If we all go into the boozer, all four of us, let's all go to the pub. Let's all go play some darts. I love a bit of darts, right? What game are we playing? Oh, are we playing 301 or are we playing 501? Are we doing double out? Are we doing closest ball to start? We are establishing the rules before we start the game.
Yeah.
With football, there's a ball, off you go play, see you later. When a child is old enough to read and to understand. As far as I'm concerned, at that point, the laws of the game should be shoved down their throats because they need to understand the laws of the game. And I also believe that every professional club that has a youth setup and every FA chartered club, at least, every FA chartered club should be given the laws of the game to learn and read, and also do an obligatory referees course. Whether you want to be a referee or not, it's up to you. But you should all do it because it's also a way to stay within the game. If you don't make it, if you are 17 and you are playing for Chelsea and you are released, and there's no chance that you go to Colchester and you can't get into Colchester, you're then 18 years old. You would have been you would have been a qualified referee for a couple of years. So if you want to, you are then able to go and make a career out of refereeing, or or coaching or whatever. But I think those sort of options should be available to people, but that you have to learn the laws of the game first.
Yeah, I think you do get offered the coaching like when they're in the youth setup. But do you know what, though, Gav? Do you know what you were saying before about like the control of the game? Do you not think that these certain referees in the Premier League that like to have the game, like say for instance, I said before, Mike Dean sort of does me in because the fact that he likes the game to be around him. He likes to make controversial decisions in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like there was certain referees like that. Remember that close? Was he Italian? That closer, the one with the crazy eyes.
Oh, Collina.
That's it.
Pierluigi Collina, the best referee in the history of mankind.
That's what I'm saying. So you got players like him who you wouldn't question as saying, but then you got players like you got managers.
Yeah, because you'd be scared.
What
was that for, ref? Oh, sorry for looking at me.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So they had respect for him, whereas nowadays they got no respect. They should have the cameras, right, and you should be able to hear what they're saying as well. In my eyes.
On what level does that start at?
No, the cameras. Sunday League. Mainly for protection.
At Sunday League level, I think it should start at Sunday League. Yes.
Yeah, because I think they should have the cameras just mainly for their safety.
Where's the funding coming from?
The FA should be funding, mate.
Yeah, I mean, got to think there's a lot of investment asking for there.
I mean, GoPros aren't cheap, are they? But
mate,
put a GoPro on every ref.
Mate, there's not enough referees. Mate, the referee, right? I went to go watch a game the other day. The referee was 75. You know what I mean? There's not enough.
Hey, look, I quit the game because I fell out of love with the game because I felt that the barriers were and the goalposts were moved a hell of a lot. Now that also then feeds back into the last episode of the debate and racism, but we won't go into that today. We want to talk about more fun stuff. I'll say fun stuff. It's all debatey.
So I'm just going to quickly ask Jamie and Dylan a question here, obviously Gabby as well. Do you ever think we can get to a point where match officials will not be a scapegoat?
No, they're so easy. They're too easy to blame. It's such an easy thing to blame. Plus, also because we don't hear from them, as you said before, they haven't got the manager can say the referee, but the referee can't. You never get to see the referee defend himself. You know what I mean? So it's always going to be a scapegoat in my eyes.
That's Jamie.
That's why I thought they could be interviewed because they could give their side of the events. Sorry, Jamie.
I just think it's gone past that point in football now, where it'll never. I don't think it'll ever go full circle on itself now. There's a lot of sports where I think football's the only sport where officials are really talked about. You never hear that line judge was awful in the tennis. No, you don't really hear that, and you don't hear it in I play a lot of cricket, and very rarely do you hear umpiring talked about in cricket.
You found a new friend here. You found a new friend.
But that's because cricket, the laws are a lot more
after the game.
The laws are a lot more black and white, and
yes,
the umpire's either right or the wrong, and they've got to back up as well.
Yeah.
So I think because of how grey the laws are in football and how far it's gone in terms of the referees getting scapegoated, I don't think it'll ever go full circle again. No.
Yeah.
NFL's another one where you don't hear the referees being talked about.
I don't know.
But you hear one, maybe a decision. across 16 games, 14 games of a weekend, you hear a decision. Oh, that was a bit naughty. Name me a decision that happened yesterday off a referee.
I feel like officials.
We watched NFL all day last night.
I know we do. I do feel like officials, certainly in America anyway, they get a little bit more attention. But Jamie's right about obviously tennis or golf and cricket. But it's because in tennis and cricket, it's very easy for technology to help umpires make decisions. As with a line judge, it's either the ball's either in or is out. If any part of the ball is touching the line, as was it Hawkeye, isn't it?
Yeah.
We know that Hawkeye's what is it? Not they say it's like 99.9% accurate, and then you can easily trust the judgment of the technology there. So I was just curious as if we could ever, because I feel like VAR has made it even worse for referees, and if they took away VAR, would it then make people more appreciative of referees then? But maybe.
Well, this is I just want to go back on Esther's comment. This is what I said about like teaching the kids the laws of the game, and she said that it would put up a lot of barriers for some people. It would stop a lot of kids from playing. Now, if you are teaching a child a game, you teach them the rules before you play the game. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're called the laws of the game because the rules can be broken or bent, but you can't break the law. Hence why there is a referee, and the referee is there to adhere by the laws of the game, and that's why they're called laws. And
we played. I set up a charity game for cancer research. I think it was last year, and we got a penalty. My mate hits it against the post, and it comes back to, and he slots it away, and the referee
can't do that. Double touch.
Yeah, and it's stuff like that. It's like we were all like that. What do you mean? What do you mean, ref? It's stuff like that. Like, you just don't,
things like that you wouldn't know unless you read the laws of the game.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a direct free. A penalty. Yeah, a penalty is a direct free kick. That's all a penalty is. So when you say, I'll give a free kick for that, but not a penalty. Well, why not a penalty? It's the same. It's just a foul that happens inside the box or outside the box. A penalty is a direct free kick. Right, let's move on. This might split a lot of opinion. It might get a lot of people riled up, but I want to ask the question. Should the England men's and women's team get paid the same? Jamie? Throw you under the bus early doors, won't I?
Yes. Yes.
Just the national team. So. We're not talking about the whole professional game. We're just talking about the England national team. Should they get paid the same?
Yes, I think so. Because it's the same.
Why?
It's the same kind of structure. I just think, the men get the men's fees. It's just a gut feeling that I think representing your country. I mean, should you get paid for it anyway? Is a start.
But funded.
That's a different topic of conversation. But the amount of money in the men's game compared to the women's game for club level, there should be some leveling up somewhere, I think, because the women are talented. They are good at what they do. They shouldn't be judged in comparison to the men. I think that's really unfair. So I think it's representing your country. And if the FA want you to represent the country, whether you're a man or a woman, they should be paying you the same amount of money.
Dill?
I agree. I don't even think they should be getting paid, me personally, to represent your country. I don't. To be fair, I didn't even realise that they were getting paid until I think it was when it came up on Sky Sports that they're getting equal pay. Does anyone actually know how much they get paid?
If I'm honest, I don't know. I don't know. I'll see if I can find out that information in the meantime.
Also, if you're trying to find that information, can you find out who's paying them, Gav? Because we're talking here about like the grassroots haven't got the money, but if they're paying if they're paying the men's footballers, okay, the women's footballers, I agree that they should be getting paid because they're not on the same bracket that a Premier League English player is on, right? So we're talking about funding for grassroots, the referees. If you're paying your English men's footballers, why? You don't need to pay them. They're on enough money as it is.
As far as I'm aware, they have been donating all of their full salary from to charity for quite a number of years, though. I agree with you two. They should definitely not be getting paid for playing for their country, absolutely. But at least, obviously, they're self-aware enough to recognise that fact, and they are donating it to
Yeah.
charity, or so I'm led to believe.
That's
Anyway,
a good thing though. Like that, they're donating it to charity. That's a good thing. Like,
And also, international football at women's level is taken a lot more seriously. There's a lot more stock in the women's international game.
it is, because I think obviously with international football, at least in the women's game, it's still seen as the pinnacle. Whereas maybe obviously in men's football, the Champions League and top high-end Premier League or La Liga, Bundesliga is probably seen as better standard than international football now.
I mean, put it this way, going back, would you rather see Arsenal win the Champions League or England win the World Cup?
Arsenal are in the Champions League because there's, because that there's less chance of that happening. There's more chance of England winning a World Cup, in my opinion. Arsenal needs to get back in the Champions League for one. That's what I'm saying about that. It's been a long time. I miss it. When Arsenal played against Braga last season, not Braga, Victoria Guimaraes last season in the Europa League, and the game got moved to Wednesday. You don't understand what that did to my heart. It was like, oh my God, Arsenal playing European football on a Wednesday, and it's not Swansea or Cardiff. This is wonderful, So Arsenal's winning Champions League would just be something special. Something special. Do I think these two should get paid the same? No. And that's not in a misogynistic way or anything at all. I think that if you are going to pay them, there is a lot more money in the men's game than there is in the women's game. I find the same with tennis. Tennis is my normal go-to with this question, but the parameters are slightly different because men and women get paid the same amount in tennis as they do in whichever tournament. So just say if you play in the French Open, the men will win £1 million if they win the French Open. The women will get paid £1 million. I don't disagree with that because they don't play the same amount of sets. And I think it should be prorated.
Well, to sort of counteract that argument, then, Gav, women play 90 minutes of football same as men do.
Correct.
Yes, they do. But where is the money coming from? And I go back to Jamie, and I agree with Jamie because why are they getting paid to represent their national team?
Yeah.
Why are you getting paid? It should be an honour. It should be an absolute honour to represent your country. I think the only sport, going back to a sport we've already spoken about today, the only sport that you should get paid for if you are playing at the national level is cricket. Because the amount of games that are played around the world at any time, you can't represent your county if you're in England, for argument's sake. You can't represent your county because you are playing, because the games are in summer, right? Mm-hmm. But then in the summer, there's also other countries that play the same sort of time, the same sort of summer as us. So then how are we going to play some county games if we are going to Pakistan, or we're going to Dubai to play cricket, or going to wherever to play Test cricket, going over to West Indies in the middle of June? So how are you going to get paid? So you get a central contract and rugby as well. They put autumn internationals and the Six Nations on at exactly the same time as you're playing league games, which I think is pathetic, by the way. So
I just don't think they get
if you are getting paid a central contract, then that's fine.
Yep, Dylan's correct. And what I will say about cricket and rugby is, though, the club level and county level at cricket, they're all geared to actually supporting the national team, which is the pinnacle of playing, which is why you would get, you should get paid for playing for England.
That was the case.
But it's not the case. It's not the case in football.
It was the case in football.
But it is. But it is for the women. But it is for the women.
Yes,
it is for the women. Yeah. So what you say? Maybe then women should get paid more than the men to represent their national team.
I just think they should get paid a fair amount.
If they get paid at all.
I just think I think it should just be the women that get paid, just because I don't think that the women get enough money. I don't know how much the women make actually on an average, but I don't think it's anywhere near the men's game.
Do you think we'll ever get to a stage where the women will actually get on parity with men at club level as well as international level? because I feel like the reason why the
Sorry,
men's game.
Sorry, ask that question again.
So we talk about international level here,
Yes.
men and women getting paid the
Who have
same.
control
At
over
club
that.
level, will we ever get to a point where men and women will be earning the same wages? So women will be on like 250 grand a week.
No, I don't think that will happen.
And why do you think that? Is that because the men's game has just been around for so much longer and it's so much more tradition and it's just built up?
For the men's game, you know, where's that money coming from? It is coming from sponsorship.
Well, it's because supply and demand, isn't it? That's where basically
it's supply and demand. Like, so if like, for instance, lockdown has just happened, yeah. Bundesliga was the first league to come back. If it was Women's League that first came back, would you watch it? Me personally, I would. I would watch. I'd watch the women's game. Would you?
probably not.
No, I was going to say you
probably
didn't
not.
answer straight away, so that answered the question. Jamie, would you watch it?
I'd watch my club, so I'd watch Liverpool women. I have dabbled in watching Liverpool women's games in the past. I find them, what the thing you've got to do is I think we've got to get away from comparing the women's game with the men's game and start treating it as its own entity. And as a game of football goes, they're not bad games of football. Some of them, they do play some good stuff. But I wouldn't watch. Say West Ham women versus Chelsea women. No, but I would watch West Ham men versus Chelsea men. So it's one of those things, isn't it?
I completely agree there. Like I this season maybe because like of Alex Morgan, maybe I had to see like Severe and Liverpool women just play up the road from us. So yeah, probably will jump into a little bit more. Like, but nah, like I do agree. Like he said, as he says there, like you wouldn't watch West Ham versus I think because Leighton Orient is one of the best women's teams. So you wouldn't watch them, would you?
Sorry to hide your face, Dill, but it's a big question, big statement here from Simon James. Now, if you're listening to the podcast via Anchor.fm or via Spotify or Apple Music, because you could do those, you wouldn't know what's happening right now. But at the moment, you can't see Dylan's face, and that's because Simon James has made a massive statement. So he said, you're not likely to hear the England's women's team messing around with local hookers. I think it's a total disrespect to the team and the country. Those lads shouldn't be called forwards again. Same pay, but it should be a total honour, not about the money. Now, what do you think of that?
I get the point, but you can't punish lads for the rest of their career for making a mistake when they were 18 or 19 years old, because we're now holding footballs to double standards. Because I appreciate where Simon's coming from, and they were in the wrong, and they should be, it's all part of growing up as a person. I know for a fact that I wasn't the most well-behaved person as a 18 or 19-year-old. Gav, were you the most well-behaved person?
Absolute angel, mate.
No, I don't believe that for a second. So
when I was 18, I was actually. Thank you very much. It was when I was 22, 23.
There we go. Well, there you go. So these lads are under scrutiny. I get it. So, but I don't think that we should hold these lads to a higher standard just because they're playing for the England national team. It's just it's just what it is. It's life. They are still humans at the end of the day. We can't expect them to be robots,
boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fully agree. They're just young lads doing the jobs, and unfortunately, their job is in a more of a spotlight, so they are going to get more scrutiny. But the constant tailing of them does need to stop. Like I don't really care about what they're up to in the spare time, unless it's illegal. Then I think we should
absolutely.
But if it's little bits of if it's a little bit of young lads being young lads, then it just needs to stop. I think.
Yeah, I do understand that they're meant to be they are meant to be like idols, aren't they? They're meant to be like
they're role models, aren't they?
They're meant to be role models, but they're still only young, so they've got role models themselves. So
yeah, I mean, who's to say? The role models. Phil Foden's role model wasn't Gaza, so he acts like him off the pitch.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with acting like Gaza. There was a question from Esther. But we do that with women in all walks of life. I'm not quite sure which statement that referred to.
I'm guessing she might be meaning that women are judged and
Judged.
being scrutinised,
Yeah.
which is very true.
Yeah,
that is true.
which I don't believe is right at all.
What do you think is the biggest women's sport in the world? Like, what would you say was like the biggest? Like, so, like, you know, it's
Probably
a hard
tennis,
one,
isn't it?
I'd say tennis.
It
Probably,
probably
I'd say
is,
tennis.
but that's
yeah.
just because that if it wasn't, more than Serena and Venus, but them two absolutely smashed it by it. Do you know what we were saying before? Like, how are they going to get to that level? It might only take that women's player to get them. Plus, also we're saying it's like the Sky who need to broadcast the women's game more for it to grow. You know,
this is where the supply and demand comes in.
It's supply and demand
because
and finance. Because I would turn around and say it's athletics. Because there's when it comes around to a Commonwealth Games or it comes around to an Olympic Games or Diamond League, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's the men or the women that are doing whatever. We're watching it, and it's happening.
I would say though the general public, they would have heard more of female tennis players than they would have heard of female athletics or athletes.
Yeah, I'd go along with that.
Interesting question. Now, let's go to our final question of the day. Who's getting relegated from the Premier League? I don't know whether it's going to be a sweep or not. So, Dylan, who's your three?
I'm thinking Fulham. Definitely Fulham. I had Aston Villa.
Tottenham,
yeah, I thought you were going to say Tottenham as well.
They could go down if they like.
I had Villa, but I made some good signings, so I think Villa are actually feeling
so a bit of safe.
I think,
Sheffield
United.
I think Sheffield. I think the goalkeeper's going to be getting relegated in two seasons. Ramsdale.
Poor Rambo.
They've just lost Jack O'Connell for the season as well. Do you reckon? That's a big.
It was ACL. Did they say in the end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I knew it was a knee injury.
That's a big injury. Oh.
Yeah, it's a year, isn't it?
And he's really good. Him, Jack O'Connell.
I like him. I like him. Where are you one of your teams?
He was outside top six.
Outside top six
last season.
Yeah. Who's your other one that's going down?
I'm thinking West Brom.
Whoa, Jamie. I just saw a little comment that just came up. Your fiance, your Ralph, is a West Brom fan, so you better answer carefully here because it looks like you. Have you had dinner yet, Jamie?
We have, yeah.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah,
Say what you like.
Go completely honest then, mate. Yeah.
I think Fulham have definitely had it.
Yeah.
Fulham they just can't. I don't think Scott Parker's quite got it. He talks a good game, Scott Parker, but I don't think he's got the
Championship is his level.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling. Why do I have a weird feeling that he's going to be an England manager within the next 5 years?
I don't see that.
It can happen.
No one saw Gareth Southgate.
Okay, but I'm not saying it.
He's one of those England golden boys, isn't he? Like, you know, he got the armband. Remember when he got the armband ahead of Gerrard, Lampard, everyone?
Yeah, he tucks his shorts in and folds over. You know, like when you first play football and you put your shorts and your football shirt on and you tuck your shirt in and you do that little, the little fold. Fold. He does that, and and if he goes to a tackle and his shirt comes out, the first thing he does, he gets a little fold. Tucks it in, puts back over. Do you see what I mean? That's Scott Parker. That's what he does. And things like that are yes men, and they're the top of people that England FA won. Fulham are going down.
Yeah.
Who's your other teams there, Dylan and Jamie?
I think Sheffield United could be a good shout because I think
Sheffield.
losing Dean Henderson was massive for them. I think losing him's a big game changer. He saved them a lot of points last year, except the one at Bramall Lane against us, but. He was, and you know what? I've got a strange feeling about Leeds and Brighton because the pair of them might play a lot of nice football. They might play a lot of nice football, but it might just be more style over substance. And
Yeah.
you might come away from a lot of games thinking Brighton played well, but they still got beat. And
Yeah.
Do you know what,
that
Jay?
could be a
It's
thing.
happened twice already this
Do you know what,
season.
Jay?
Yeah.
I went to the Liverpool game against Brighton and last season, and do you know what? They actually done us over. Yeah, we were lucky to come out with it. It was when Dunk scored that quick fix.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him, listen,
Yes.
you played fantastic football, but you just struggled to get the little results. You know, you got Neil Maupay. I don't think Neil Maupay is going to be doing it all this season. To use that,
I think,
that Aaron Connolly, he doesn't seem as confident. But and also I was saying to my mate about Leeds conceding too many goals.
I think Leeds and Brighton, you make a good point there, because who are going to score their goals? As you say, there's a lot of pretty football being played.
Well,
but who are going to
Leeds
score their
United
goals?
have got Patrick Bamford.
Let's not go. I mean, Leeds signed Rodrigo from the La Liga, and he's scored 3 goals last year, 4 goals last year.
He creates and gets involved in stuff a lot.
Is that the Rodrigo? Is that the Rodrigo that was on loan at Bolton all them years ago? Is it the same player?
I don't
Is
know.
it? I don't actually think it
let's
is.
have a find out. But scoring goals is going to keep you in the Premier League. Yes, yeah, he really was. But scoring goals is going to keep you in the Premier League, isn't it? Then that's what that.
Yes,
if you can't do it. If you can't score goals, then you're in trouble.
Yes, it is. It is the same one. It's the same one from 2010-11 season, 17 games and a goal.
All we got to do is look at Norwich. You know, like when we're talking about Leeds, you've got to compare Leeds and Norwich. They came in 2 attacking-minded sides, right? And Leeds, the first 2 games, conceded 7 goals. You know, don't get me wrong, they played us, but they played Fulham the next game. It shows that defensively.
Who they did the double over last season and only conceded 3 goals in those 2 games, I believe.
This young French goalkeeper, I don't really rate him.
What? Whoa!
He had a really good game yesterday.
Meslier, for me, he's 20 years old. Meslier is a future world.
I think you've caught one
decent.
here, Dylan.
Nah, mate.
Yeah,
Meslier. Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
He's 20 years old. If you're expecting a world-class goalkeeper at 20 years old, then your brain's fried.
But what Dylan's saying for this season,
which is fine. So what? Right. So if he has a poor season this season, well, I'm not saying poor season, but right. If he has a season like Ramsdale did last season, which he catches a couple of people's eyes, but he concedes too many goals. Like,
see, I don't think Ramsdale's all that. I think Ramsdale's quite a poor goalkeeper. What they should have done, I think, when there was talk of Emi Martinez going on the move, Emi Martinez cost an extra 1.5 million more than Ramsdale. Which goalkeeper would you prefer to have between your sticks?
Yeah, that's what I think they'll keep
or Emi Martinez. You know, so for me, I think they went down the wrong route there, Leeds, but Sheffield United, but Leeds, they've got a goalkeeper on their hands, and he is going to be a future great. I am saying that outright right now. This show has been recorded on the 28th of September 2020, and I'm saying Meslier is going to be a goalkeeper and a half. But going down,
for me, Fulham, West Brom, done. I don't even guarantee. I don't think they're going to get more than 15 points. That's my bold statement for today. And I will probably say Sheffield United, because they're going to struggle to score goals, and they won a lot of tight games last year. And if that's the way you're going to be as a football team, it only takes 4 or 5 of those results to go the other way this year, and you're in trouble. And it's shown that they're trying to get a striker in, because they've gone to Arsenal. They went for the younger lad, Balogun, and they've gone to a couple of other clubs as well, looking for a striker. Aren't they in for Brewster as well at Liverpool? I'm sure I've seen him linked with him. So Wilder is definitely aware that they need a striker, and can they get that striker? If they can, maybe they'll be safe. But I think Sheffield United are going to be in trouble.
I did think about Sheffield United going. I thought Sheffield United might go down, but I don't. I am still going to go West Ham. West Ham are going down. I think Fulham will. They will go down, but they'll be close. And Nah, it's West Brom. Yeah, West Brom. Yeah, they're going to go down. Anyway, hey, look, it's been a great show. Alex, thank you very much for coming rain. Coming rain, kid. That's my Northampton accent. Coming eight. Coming eight, kid. Coming eight, kid. But I don't normally speak like that. Anyway, Jamie, absolute pleasure having you on the show, pal.
No props. Been a pleasure coming off.
And Dylan, you're part of the squad anyway, so
It's always good.
not going to say
always
thanks to you. Joker. Right, so yeah, you've been watching Two at the Top's debate episode 5. You'll be able to listen back to this as a podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, and all that sort of stuff. We're in the top 100 sports podcasts in the world. Imagine that. How wonderful is that? I love saying things that are actually real. We are not in the top 100 on YouTube. So therefore, what you need to do is ensure that you download.
Go to YouTube.
Download the YouTube app. I'll tell you what, do that. And then go to youtube.com/2uptopfootball
and subscribe.
Like,
Show
share,
us
subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. And if you don't remember what our social media links are, they're at 2uptopfootball. Why don't you know this? But if you put 2uptop into Google, our name comes up first. And that's all that you need to know. So from Gav Mac, Alex Osborne, Jamie and Dylan, thank you and good night.
Peace out.